And welcome back. During this holiday season, people tend to make a great deal of credit card purchases, more than they do actually during the whole year altogether. Now, unfortunately, the increase in spending creates greater opportunity for scammers who prey on shoppers. And naturally, there's a significant rise of increase in credit card fraud during this time of year. The question is, how can a person actually protect themselves from credit card theft? Here to tell us more is the president and CEO of National Retail Solutions, Elie Katz. And Elie, good to have you.
Hey, always great to be here. Thank you so much for having me back, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you. Yeah, some people say it's the most beautiful time of the year. Other people say it's an ugly time of the year, particularly because there is, as I said in the intro, a lot of scams going on, a lot of people taking advantage of credit card fraud. So give us a little bit of insight as to what we can typically see during this time when it comes to credit card fraud.
So unfortunately, it is a time when credit card fraud has gone up, or I've seen it go up. National Retail Solutions is one of the largest credit card processors for the independent convenience store space, and growing obviously to other verticals. But I will tell you, card not present is usually a big one. I have a 16-year-old son, and he dabbles in buying fancy clothing off of the internet. And he has gotten in trouble, or I should say our credit cards have gotten in trouble, when he goes to these unknown websites and he puts the credit card information in to purchase something. Next thing you know, we have to cancel those cards. So rule number one, card present. Try to give your card and make sure you get your card. When I go to an ATM, and this is just me, I'm not giving, I actually look to see if there's any type of card reader, right? I mean, sometimes they're noticeable and sometimes they're not, where they put some type of card reader where they'll read your card and copy your card. And I do that at gas pumps also. But also when I give my card to an attendant or to a merchant, I watch to make sure that that card goes either to be dipped, chipped, and hand back to me. And that's very important. Then if you're going to do online purchases, which a lot of people do shy away from online purchases now, or they go, because of the fraud that's going on, make sure you do it with a site that's reputable, and make sure that you know where you're putting your credit card in. And that's important. And some people say, you know what, why do I care about credit card fraud? The credit card companies will cover me, they'll protect me. Okay, first of all, there's thresholds. Second of all, there's inconveniences and nuisances. And third, the challenges that you may end up having if it goes even further with identity theft, etc. It could really set you back on your credit, set you back, etc. So avoid it. We don't need trouble. You don't need to fix trouble. Avoid trouble.
When we talk about trouble comes when you're really finding yourself in a place where your card has been compromised. I think you said it earlier. Sometimes people go behind the notion that, listen, you know what? The credit card company is going to cover it. But I want you to delve a little bit deeper because, yeah, there are some more layers to this, simply because, okay, the credit card company may cover it, but yes, your name is out there, your information is out there, and now you have a whole lot more to worry about.
And keep to the word may, okay? Because may, you never know, what their position is going to be on certain items, on certain thresholds, etc. So keep to the word may. And because I've seen challenges on credit cards where they don't necessarily win. So it's not a win to fight. And as you know, when you fight, no one ever wins, right? There may be a compromise, or you might have won the battle, lose the war. Avoid the fight.
Yeah. So here we are today, and you're a person that works National Retail Solutions. Give us a little bit about what we should be doing during this time of year if we want to make things better. Obviously, we know that the fraud is out there, scammers are out there, but give us some tips on what we should be doing in order to make things better for ourselves in terms of preparing.
So I will say, as when it comes to terrorists, or even financial terrorists, you want to call them, you just have to beat them by enjoying life. Go shopping, spend money, support your local stores, make sure you're vigilant and keep an eye on where your credit card is going and who's looking at your numbers. As you know, several years ago, it changed that receipts only print the last 4 digits on the credit cards when we used to print the whole entire thing. Make sure that that's still the case at the merchant that you're in. I was in a store this morning where they should have had a dip, but they made me swipe. Okay, but you know what? I watched the card swipe, I took the card back, and hopefully the person doing it doesn't have a photographic memory.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff to really pay attention to. And let's be honest, I mean, just as soon as you perfect yourself and you get in a place where you're actually honestly protecting yourself against one thing, you got to deal with something else because these scammers and these fraud guys, they're at the top of their game.
They're multiplying. Everyone thinks it may be Russia or China or some other country. You know what? There's lots of people here in the US, unfortunately and sadly, trying to take advantage of people of all ages. But I'll tell you, the most vulnerable of our population, which has always been the most vulnerable to scams and flim-flams, whatever that word means, has been the senior population. And it's important that the senior population also stays vigilant. They understand that they are targets to these scams. And the scams come in so many different ways. A lot of them are coming in emails. You're due a refund. I've been trying to get in touch with you, and this is going to be my last email. You have to call the IRS immediately because otherwise we're sending people to your door. There's so many different scams that are out there. Be conscious, don't open links, and just be ultra paranoid. Unfortunately, you have to in this world.
Ultra paranoid, I like that. Well, listen, before we go, I got to get this quick question. I only have a couple minutes left, but talk to me about retailers and what are they actually doing? Because in addition to the consumer, the retailer is also taking some precautions, and I know that's along the line of work that you do.
So retailers are taking precautions. A lot of them are going with the contactless payments, right? So you're not really handing anyone a card anymore. Obviously, the dipping of your chip has been something EMV compliant for several years. Gas stations, and this just happened in the last year or so, gas stations are one of the prime places to be targeted for fraud. And why is that? For credit card processing fraud? Why is that? Because there is no real attendant outside. When you're in New Jersey, you have that luxury of having an attendant come and putting the gas into your car and handing them the card, which you're handing them the card, by the way, that's the red flag. But in other places, then there's no one really watching. So they could set up some type of, grab your number, etc., from the card. And the name escapes me what it's called right now. I'll remember it as soon as we finish the interview. So gas stations are specifically a place, and just in the last year, there became an EMV requirement to put your chip into the pumps. But what's the but? These merchants or these gas stations around the country haven't been changing over because in order for them to do that, it is a very expensive process. They have to rip out their pumps. They have to get the new pumps that have the chip-enabled pumps. It's a delay in business. It costs a lot of money. It's destructive. They may have to be down for a few weeks. So we actually came out with a gas station end-to-end solution where there is an EMV retrofit kit that's put on the pumps. And that's part of our NRS Pay processing. And that gives the merchant the ability to switch to the EMV compliant at the pumps fairly quickly, very inexpensive, no downtime.
Wow, amazing. Well, Elie, thank you so much for being with us. Best wishes to you during this holiday season, and certainly we'll catch up with you in the new year, and we'll let our viewers know more information. Thanks a lot, brother.
Thank you, Daren. I love being here, and I want to wish you and your family and the entire BronxNet family a happy and healthy holiday season.
Hey, the same to you. The same to you. All right, we are going to take a quick break, but I want you to know before, if you want to get in touch with Elie, yes, reach them social media, National Retail Solutions. We'll be back. We got more show coming up.
NRSplus.com. Thank you, Daren.
Yes, sir. And I forgot about that, but you got it in there for me.
Oh, sorry.
All righty. No, you did right. Correction is good. All righty, we'll be back with more show in a minute.